Hey, welcome everyone to this epic review of the JLab Epic Luxe Lab Edition. Get it? Epic? Epic? No? No, I guess not. Alright, in all seriousness, if you want to see the written versions of the review, you can find a link to a website in the video description. And these are noise cancelling over-the-ear headphones, and JLab says they are the most advanced headphones they've ever made. So let's see what that means and what results we can get out of them. Alright, so starting off with the price, right off the bat we have a wonky situation. So get them here in Canada, you can only get them from the JLab website for $300 Canadian, except they're being shipped from the United States, so there's a $40 shipping charge on top. So that defaults them to automatically $340. Whereas in the United States, they're priced at $199 USD with no additional shipping charges. The bizarre thing on the JLab website is that it says there's free shipping on a lot of devices on their website. These do not qualify for free shipping. Despite them being their newest and greatest headphones, you would think they would want to market them that much harder and make shipping easier available, but they didn't. So I don't know what's going on there. To make things even more strange is that was during my writing of the script of this review. But just before filming this, so as you're seeing right now, all of a sudden they're saying no, they're up for pre-order in June. So I have no idea what's happening with availability. The headphones do support a wireless and wired connection with the auxiliary USB port on the bottom of the right ear cup. The reason I say auxiliary USB port is because the cable itself on one end is USB-C that goes into the headphones and the other end is 3.5mm for your audio source, which is pretty cool. And some other cool things is that with the auxiliary cable, you can use it when the battery is dead. And if you do have battery, you can plug it in with the wire and turn active noise cancelling mode on. However, you cannot use them while they are recharging the battery. And that USB auxiliary cable is measuring in about 57 inches. Wireless connection is using Bluetooth 5.4, and according to JLab's website, you'll get just over 30 feet of range. However, in my testing, I got a whopping 50 feet with multiple walls in between because I was walking through the second floor of my house. It does support dual connectivity, so you can connect to two devices at the same time. If one is a laptop with music playing and the other is a cell phone which rings, it'll pause the content on your laptop and prioritize the call. And when the call is done, it'll then resume music on your laptop. As for how many devices you could put in memory before having to pair them again, JLab's website and documentation doesn't say anything, but I got 3 devices in my testing, which is going to be plenty for most people. Over to accessories, included is a hard traveling case, which is not usually found with mid-tier price headphones, so this is a lovely touch. The USB-C auxiliary cable I mentioned earlier, and a pure USB-C cable. That's right, it's pure USB-C, which I'm very happy about because it's almost impossible to find from other headphone manufacturers. They usually have USB-A to USB-C for some bizarre reason. And this USB-C cable from JLab is measuring a whopping 57 inches, very generous in length. Another thing included in the box, which is not expected at this price point, even premium headphones don't do this, is a wireless charging docking station. But there's no power adapter included in the box, as you're expected to plug it in directly to a computer with a wired connection or use your cell phone power adapter or the wireless charging dock itself. The headphones look great. I love the design with the unique shaped ear cups and the metallic headband arm that connects to the ear cups. The faded JLab logo also looks really cool. Overall, the design will stand out and won't look like typical headphones. There are no color options available. The black and metallic one you see here is all that's available as of today. That maybe they'll change in the future, but who knows. The headphones do not support a folding design. They stay like this as stationary. If that's a concern with traveling, don't worry, you got the case and I'll show you another way to get it done. The headphones do weigh 300 grams, which is a little on the heavy side, but however, wearing them, which is most important, it's not uncomfortable, they don't feel too heavy, they are a pleasure to wear. With and without glasses, I can wear them for several hours straight. It's one of the most comfortable I've ever used. That's thanks to a few things. First is the ear pad cushioning, which is very thick and soft. It feels very nice against the head. And also the headband cushioning, which is this fabric-like soft cushioning material. It feels great for people who have little to no hair. Keynote is that I was concerned that too much dust would fill up on the headband and on the interior side. Especially because these headphones don't have any information about them being sweat and wet resistant, so you can't get it wet. Just don't take that chance. But thankfully, you can kind of just swipe away the dust really quickly with your hand, so I'm not taking that a point away from the headphones themselves. In addition to that, the headband flex is not too bad. Not too tight, not too loose either. It's just this perfect sweet spot. As for the body construction, when I first took it out of the box, I thought it was a little weak and was concerned. However, when I put it through some abusive testing, it was much stronger than expected and it did great. However, I don't recommend them for working out. They are comfortable, but here's the problem. Like all headphone manufacturers that are over the ear, your ears will get really sweaty because they're inside the ear cup. Secondly, is that when you're working out, when you're doing stuff like looking downwards, maybe picking up the barbell when you're about to do deadlift, RDL, dumbbell rows, you get the idea. The headband kind of shifts ever so slightly forward, like maybe a centimeter at most. That doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're trying to be comfortable and you're trying to lift a heavy weight, you don't want any distraction. So in everyday use, it's fine. But for working out, I just don't recommend it. To adjust the sizing, the headband adjustment is done in a sliding mechanism. It's not notches. And the ear cup rotation is excellent, going forward, back, up and down. Pretty much in any direction, it's great. As for official ear pad replacements, there's nothing available yet. Maybe because they're brand new. There's not availability from third-party vendors either. Again, probably because they're too new. So maybe wait around if you need them. And when I was talking earlier about that they can't fold and taking them on the go for transportation, some people need to get over that. It's not that bad. Putting on your neck, looking left and right, it's not too bad, just barely grazes my neck. Looking down, it's okay, it kind of pushes against me, but the ear cup cushionings are so soft I don't mind. Putting him down like this though, it's no obstruction in any direction and it doesn't dig into my neck either, so just do this. All controls are on the right ear cup. The back physical button is used to power the device on and off, and holding it will enter Bluetooth pairing mode. Tapping once will play pause music, or answer or hang up a call, and double tapping it will activate your phone's smart assistant, or triple tapping will switch between equalizer modes available in the app, which we'll cover shortly. Pressing the JLab button on the right ear cup on the right side of it will allow you to switch between listening modes. So one is ANC, which is short for active noise cancelling, which cancels noise in your surrounding environment. The next one is transparency mode, which allows you to hear surroundings by projecting sound from the microphones into the ear cups. And the last mode, of course, is regular headphone mode with no special technology, and it makes the battery last longer. As for the rest of the controls, like fast forward and whatnot, it's all touch based on the right side of the ear cup. Swipe forward for next track, swipe back for previous track, swipe up for volume up, swipe down for volume down. These controls work great. I found that the sensitivity is perfect and spot on. I had no problems using them. Oh, and on another note, I almost forgot, this is pretty cool, is that the physical buttons, the JLab button and the one at the back, you can customize the controls for them in the app to almost anything you want. So you have some great versatility there. I'm glad JLab did this. As for the Smart Assistant functionality, this one worked great with my Android device and Google Assistant. Not really expected at this price point is passive play pause. So when you're playing content, you have the headphones on, it's fine. Take them off, it automatically pause. Put them back on, it automatically resume. It's not expected this price point, but it is available. All right, active noise cancelling. So we're gonna cover two scenarios. One is low pitch sounds at high volume, like engine of a plane, turbine, whatever the heck they're called. And high pitched sounds like people talking and just general street noise. Okay, so taking on like a plane, for example, which is one of the loudest situations, you'll be able to play podcast or news at about 70% volume and make out what's being said just fine. So this can be great as a traveling companion. If you want to listen to music, you'll be fine at maybe 50-60% volume. So you get that idea when it comes to other modes of transportation. But what about if you're on a noisy bus with a lot of people talking, or a train? Well, vocals do kind of seep through. They're mid-tier priced headphones. It's kind of what you expect in noise canceling. If I was on a bus with a lot of people talking and I was listening to news or a podcast, I could put it maybe at 50-60% volume and be just fine and comfortable. So you won't be hurting your ears by putting the volume too loud, so it does great. ANC performs a little bit better than I expected. Transparency works at the price you're getting. You can have conversation with people, it's just not the most fun experience. It sounds like they put a paper in front of their mouth like this and they're talking, and that's what it sounds like. There is no side tone mode available, which basically means that when you're on a phone call, it'll activate the transparency mode and you can hear your surroundings and how loud you're speaking to the person on the other call. That's not here, and that's not expected at mid-tier price, but I want to mention that. Okay, so battery is the next wacky situation we have with these headphones. According to the JLab website, under technical specs, it'll say that with ANC on, the battery will last about just over 60 hours. Except in my testing, I always averaged 33 hours. And that's me draining the battery and testing this 3 times. Twice with ANC and once with transparency mode. But here's a bizarre thing, even though it being almost half their claim. If you continue down their website and go to the FAQ, it says how long does the battery last? They say at 50% volume, it'll last about 40 hours with ANC. My testing was done at 60% volume, which means that the 40-hour claim seems correct. So the information on the technical specs is wrong? It's contradicting here. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, you have my results and that's that. So I'm not happy that they couldn't get the documentation correct. This is not the first time JLab has had incorrect information about their product. For example, the Go Pop ANC, which is excellent, truly wireless earbuds, very budget friendly, they're great. The manual for those earbuds said, hey, that you press the button to use commands, except there's no buttons. It's all touch-based surface. So I don't get why JLab keeps releasing products and they won't do the simple thing of having correct information on their website. This is the most basic thing you do before releasing a product. Moving along with the battery. They claim that in regular headphone mode, the battery will last a whopping just over 90 hours. And this is correct. I got 96 hours, which is crazy and amazing. So the battery situation overall with ANC transparency and regular headphone mode, it's fine. The 33-hour battery, not bad for this price and budget. It's just that their website has contradicting information. Recharging the headphones with a wire, JLab says it'll take about 3 hours. I got a bit faster at 2.5 hours. There's no information on how long it'll take to use their wireless charger, but I got 4 hours. And as for the USB-C charging port, it's located on the bottom of the right ear cup. All right, so I'm gonna do some microphone sample tests. Right now I'm in a quiet setting, and what I'm gonna do is switch over to a noisy environment with the camera microphone to let you hear how bad it is. And then we'll switch it over to the Epic mic to see if we can cancel a lot of the surrounding background noise. And then finally gonna do a wind simulated test. All right, so we're simulating a noisy environment with the camera microphone and switching over to the JLab mic to see if we can isolate and cancel out a lot of the surrounding noise. And I'll stop talking for a few seconds to see if it still does a good job of it or not. All right, I'm doing a wind test with the fan sitting over there about 3.5 feet off camera, turning in various directions to see if it'll cancel out the wind noise or make the call sound very annoying to the other person. All right, audio. Yes, yet another wacky situation here. I'm not hating on these headphones. They're still good, but hear me out. Kodak supported our SBC, AAC, and LDAC, which is surprising. I didn't expect LDAC on JLab headphones, right? You see that from Sony. Let's talk about the audio, which is more important than the audio codecs. So out of the box, they default to the JLab signature profile, which is a bit adjusted, slightly more towards the bass. That's okay. They sound all right, nothing spectacular. They're just kind of like, hey, this is what you get for this price, nothing amazing. Adjusting the equalizer where things really matter, right? So when you're using the preset equalizers in the app, it works just fine as you expect. The weird thing is, when you switch to the custom equalizer, before adjusting it, just switching to it in the app, it reduces the overall sound volume dramatically. So for example, if I'm listening to a song I really like and I'm jamming to, a 70% volume on one of their preset equalizers, when I switch to the custom equalizer, I have to increase the volume to 90-95% to get the same amount of volume output. I don't know what it is, and it's up to the latest firmware update. I've tried connecting to different sources, like different computers, my cell phone. It's the same result. So I don't know if this can be fixed with the firmware patch. Playing it at 90-95% volume, even on the custom equalizer, it's still blaring loud. But there's still something wrong with the headphones and that custom equalizer, so I have to point that out. All right, but let's talk about how equalizer performance is. When adjusting the bass, it shocked me at how good it was. Even a dance song like Girls Come By Havoc and Lawn featuring Kyle Pierce, which is a great song by the way, I didn't expect that song to have heavy bass, but in the equalizer, the headphones were slightly rumbling and vibrating on my head. Very few headphones can do this. And here's the great thing, it didn't sacrifice audio quality. Mids and highs still sounded pretty good. So when it comes to adjusting the mids and highs, same situation in either one, whatever one I was focusing on. So if I was focusing on vocals at the frequency of close to 1000, what I noticed is that if you adjust the mids too high, it'll make the vocalist sound separated from the rest of the audio, and it kind of warps the other pieces of the audio elements. And what I realize is that it's just very sensitive. So instead of adjusting it 3/4 of the way up, maybe adjust it a quarter up slightly, and that's just fine. The audio sounds good. The vocalist will be projected more in front of you without sacrificing audio quality. So it works great. You just don't adjust it too much. It seems to be very sensitive. And it's the same situation with the highs. Some songs will have some great crisp clicking sounds like ding ding ding. Anyway, I can go on forever like that, air drumming and air guitar. But the thing is that it's the same situation. It sounds excellent, but if you adjust it too high up, the rest of the audio sounds a bit warped. Just keep everything a little bit balanced and experiment with your own play. Overall, audio quality is great. All right, so what is it like with glasses? Well, it's the same situation like all over-the-ear headphones from all manufacturers. This is no exception. All audio sounds great, except you will lose a ton of bass because the glasses, frame pokes out of the ear cup. A lot of the bass leaks out. Mids and highs sound fine, but bass will be sacrificed. So if you're wearing glasses and looking for strong bass, you'll probably have to stick with truly wireless earbuds. So we're in the JLab app, and some things I'm going to skip that I kind of touched based on earlier throughout the review, like noise cancelling mode. You can adjust the level. I didn't really touch base on, so well, now you know. Equalizer I touched base on already. One thing I also didn't mention is that you can adjust and customize the touch controls, which is pretty neat. I almost missed that part. There is spatial audio. Honestly, it's a gimmick, I think, from every headphone manufacturer, including this one. There's no exception. What I want to talk about is safe hearing. I wish more had this. You can adjust the decibel level. My JLab is nothing. It's kind of like some information about other JLab products and some built-in manuals. Settings is nothing, again, to really look at. As you can see, it's just about troubleshooting and contacting JLab support, and that's pretty much it. Despite some of the wacky things I was mentioning, these are still great headphones at this price point. They still have some very strong points. The very strong points outweigh the cons by a long margin. There are some adjustments to be made here, and for JLab to say this is their most advanced headphones ever, it didn't do bad. It did pretty good. So they kind of stayed true to that claim. I'm curious to see what the successor of this will do. But if you're in the budget, I would say don't overlook the Epic Lab Lux. It's worth checking out. And that's pretty much the end of my review. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, check out my social links and website link in the video description. Hit the like button, it does help. Subscribe, and thanks for watching.